Let's not fool ourselves. Everyone knows they're cool. From movies to video games to actual real world applications to dispatching small nuisances in your backyard, suppressors are the topping to the pizza that makes any setup complete. Knocking off decibels, flash, concussion, and general signature, they play a very important role in any rifle or pistol setup. Obviously, apart from 22 long rifle and certain loadings of subsonic 300 blackout, you're not really going to expect like movie quiet, Hollywood quiet. But what should you expect? Well, I can tell you what I expect. If I'm going to spend my hard-earned money on a very expensive, relatively hard to obtain metal tube on the end of my gun, it's going to need to meet a few requirements. And for me, personally, number one is going to have to be durability. Come on guys, we know these things aren't cheap, so they should at least be able to stand up to the rigorous abuse of falling off of your kitchen table onto the hardwood floor while you're trying to take a picture of your gun for Instagram. No, but seriously, what should you expect as far as durability from your silencer? And I'm not talking the cosmetic dings, nicks, and scratches you're going to get on your mount and your actual can from general use. That's going to happen. No safe queens. But is your suppressor, and equally as importantly, your mount, going to be able to survive the rigorous use of you LARPing in the basement? When I bought my first ever can, obviously I wanted it to be silent, but more importantly, I wanted to know, to be confident that I was not going to be able to break this thing. I must have been researching YouTube videos for about 4 months at least before I came to the decision to go with Rugged, because clearly they had me in mind when they made their products. I decided to go with the Obsidian 9 for my Glock and my other PCCs, and after running like the literal piss out of it, I realized why they named their company Rugged. And this was something I came to expect from them moving forward. Now before we get too far into the weeds, this is not a review of the Obsidian 9, this is a review of the Micro 30, so let's not get too off track. So we get it. Rugged suppressors are rugged, but what else makes them special? Modularity. Cans aren't cheap, and tax stamps are $200 a pop, not to mention the wait time on those. So why not get 2 cans with 1 stamp? When you go with a modular can, you kind of get that. If you're looking at the Micro 30 can and you're wondering why would anyone possibly want to take a 6.5 inch 30 caliber can and make it even shorter, you're not alone. I too wondered this myself when I was choosing to go between that and the Razor 762. They're both almost identical, and the Micro 30 just offers the party trick of shortening it by 1.5 inches. And I figured, the price difference wasn't really that big of a deal, and why not? Is it something that I think I'll utilize often? No, probably not, but it's not a bad thing to have options now, is it? In its full configuration, it's only adding 3.5 inches to the overall length of your gun if you count the muzzle device, and without the adapt module in the end, it's adding even shorter amount of length. And if overall length is a key mission component in your LARP fantasy, then I would say this would be a heavy hitter. What I will say about this particular can is, given its short nature and its 30 caliber bore, you're going to deal with some flash on a 5.56 gun. This is kind of unavoidable. But luckily Rugged thought of that, and they have a really good flash hider that can tame that down massively. And I will say that if you're shooting at night or under nods, this is an essential piece to this suppressor. Some people who are shopping for cans ask this very reasonable question. Will attaching this suppressor to the end of my gun affect POI or accuracy? Well, I'm going to say simply no, because there is no point of impact shift if you never remove the can. But on a serious note, I have to say yes, but it is very minor and it is repeatable, which is important. As with pretty much every other suppressor that I know of in existence, there's going to be minor point of impact shift. It's the same reason why you re-zero your sights after changing on a muzzle device. I personally don't see this being an issue for any shooter that regularly trains with his or her rifle and understands how it groups. Now obviously I can't put this suppressor on every host in existence because I don't have that kind of money, so your mileage may vary. But as far as I can tell, it's good to go. Now, a suppressor is only going to be as good and reliable as its mounting system is going to allow it to be. The muzzle device that I use is the Rugged R3 Flash Mitigation System, or as I call it, the Rugged Flash Hider Mount. I keep it simple. Coming in at just 2.9 ounces, it is a compact 3-prong flash hider that uses threads and a dual taper mount to securely mount the can to the end of the gun. Remember how I said earlier that I'm rough on things? Well, this mount has survived me too. It features a very intuitive go, no-go system on the end of the mount, which pretty much ensures that you're not going to be able to mount this improperly. I have mine oriented to the top, but I've seen other people with theirs oriented to the right or favoring the left. It's shooter's preference on this one. The timing is not specific on this mount. But Duval, you ask, how does it feel? Well, I'm so glad you asked that, hypothetical viewer who's talking to their screen right now. This really comes down to personal preference and taste. I tend to like the sleek, nice finish that Rugged puts on all their cans. They have a refined yet ruggedized appearance and texture that just makes you feel like you're holding that beautiful lady in your arms that can also probably take a punch and wouldn't hesitate to pull a knife on you. I can't believe I left that in the script. Their attention to detail is superb, and unlike other cans I've held in my hands, they don't have a whole lot of ugly welds and, you know, markings that just make it just, ugh, you know? Ugh. I like things to look nice. Is that a crime? And the thing they say about welds is, if the welds you can see look like shit, imagine what the welds you can't see look like. Their attention to detail is superb, and unlike other cans, they don't have any ugly or out-of-place looking welds or manufacturing marks that take away from the aesthetic of the thing. And come on, look at this thing. Can't get it out of my gun. Oh, gee whiz. And come on, look at this thing. You know you have a beautiful piece of kit when putting this on even the lowest end, low-tier Poverty Pony rifle makes you look like you just walked off the set of The Terminal List, which is a great show, by the way, and also features plenty of rugged suppressors. And speaking of putting it on the end of any rifle, another great thing about the Micro 30, no minimum barrel length restrictions. Are you somebody who thought that buying a 7.5-inch AR-15 chambered in 5.56 was a good idea until you shot it? Well, if you haven't come to your senses and sold it back yet already at a loss, try throwing one of these on there, and I'm sure that, hey, if it doesn't make it any better, it'll at least look cool. But seriously, 10.3, 10.5, that's about as short as we go, boys. Be smart. So, in closing, who is the Rugged Suppressors Micro 34? Are you a carbon-based life form that breathes air and likes to shoot guns? Yes? It's for you. And you. But jokes aside, I feel like with most K cans, K suppressors, it's best suited for a shorter 300 blackout build, or even a shorter 5.56 gun that, you know, ninja level quiet isn't what you're going for, but overall length and durability are high up on the list. And you get the benefit of sound and flash suppression to your short gun. Or are you like me and you constantly break things and you wonder why there's not a single human being in manufacturing anywhere that can make something that can stand the test of your fantasy LARP? This is something I would definitely recommend to you then, because I haven't pogo sticked this yet on the end of my rifle, but I'm sure that it's coming because I'm a dizzy bitch and I like to trip when I'm running. Rugged has this listed on their website with an MSRP of $10.99, which sounds a little high, but anywhere where I've seen that they sell Rugged suppressors, this thing usually hangs out around $7.99, $8.50-ish. So, you know, I think you're getting a good value for that. And factoring in the tax stamp, you're looking at around $1,000, maybe a little more. But, you know, buy once, cry once. If you want nice things come with a price, unfortunately. But you only have to buy it once. Buy once, cry once. And if you've made it this far, I'd like to say thank you. This is my first, getting back into YouTubing in years, and I forgot how much goes into making a video, even like a, pretty simple video like this. It's time consuming, and I appreciate you watching to the end. Please do all the YouTuber stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and maybe I'll be motivated to do the next one. Either way, I'll probably end up doing a next one, but you should still like and do all that stuff because it would just make me feel good. Thanks.